Hey there, my name is Mike Munzing. I'm with CRESTLINE Funding. Each week I bring these videos to you. Love when you guys watch them. I really appreciate when you let me know that you enjoy them, you watch them, you pass them along. I do appreciate that. It does mean a lot to me. Once again, I'm with CRESTLINE Funding. I've been a lender down here in Orange County for about 20 years. And I like to give you this good information so you know what's going on in the market. Hey, this week, it's time again for that monthly foreclosure report. The numbers came out from Sean O'Toole and Foreclosure Radar recently, and I want to get those to you. First, let's quickly touch on the rates for the week. I do like to remind you to pull up on my website, www.mikemunzing.com, the rate sheet for the week. Take it with you, take it to your open house, talk to your potential buyers about it. When folks walk into the open houses, it's really handy to know what's going on and where the rates are. If you look for the week and for the day, really flat as far as the bond market, the rates have really held in about where they were last week. So print that out, take a look, and you can review it with your clients. Okay, as I mentioned, we're going to jump into this foreclosure report. I am going to quickly pull it up on the screen here. This is what it looks like on my website. It's about a 5-page report, once again brought out by Foreclosure Radar. I'll bring their logo up. This is the best report out there to track what is really going on with the foreclosures. It's well documented, lots of charts, very detailed, county by county at the backside. It's a very good report. A lot of you ask me, hey, what's a good way to get the information on the foreclosures? This is a free report. They do have a subscription option for it. Very effective. You should go look at that. Okay, let's jump into the charts for the month. Now this is for the month of February. It's for basically last month. So let's jump into this. I'm going to work through it from each stage of the beginning of the foreclosures on to what's happened this last month, and then what the big pictures are on that. But as you will see here on the chart, with notices of default, we've seen the first jump back up, a nearly 20% jump up from the month before to a level of 31,004 properties. That is, as I said, 19.69, just about a 20% jump there. Now let's bring up the notices of trustee sale. Those jumped up just a little bit, about 3.5% there, to a level of 28,195 properties. You can see that thing's been jumping up and down quite a bit. I want to premise this with the fact that I think we all know that there is a ton of manipulation going on in the market. Obama, the administration, they've been getting in there, they've been trying to keep these foreclosures from moving forward. The banks are doing all they can to kind of get these properties going. On that note, let's jump to the next chart here. This is actually a grand total of the pre-foreclosures. Now this covers all of the properties in those first two stages we just touched on. It's about 140,000 properties in California alone, 126, and that is down about 8% from the previous month. But that's a lot of properties getting backed up there in that pre-foreclosure realm. And next we have after the foreclosure sales happen, what happens to the properties? Now these are the properties that actually go back to the bank as a REO. And those are down 14% from the previous month to a level of about 11,943 actual properties not being sold on the steps of the courthouse, actually being offered for sale, being auctioned, and then taken back. But after that, the properties that actually were picked up by third parties, that you can see that massive ramping up here on the chart over the other months, and we see a dip, and we had a slight drop at the end of the chart there, way over to the right, down about 2.7% to about 3,606 properties over on the far side there. Next are the properties that were actually canceled. They've been in the foreclosure process, and they probably went out in one of the government programs. loan modified. Somehow most folks aren't coming in and settling out their mortgages, but probably got modified, had some government program come in, and that was down just fractionally and was at a level of 13,737 properties for the month of February. Next, we've got the properties that are currently and have been scheduled for sale. They've got a date set. They've set the date at notice of trustee sale, so they've got a date set. They're being held up at this point from actually going to sale. That is pretty much level at 145,260 properties that are slated for sale. And the final chart here is the inventory that's actually owned by the banks. We keep talking about, or we talked about for quite a while, the tidal wave of properties that are coming. Does not look like that's probably coming. We've got about 91,550 properties. Could be a lot larger, but at this point, it's not looking overly massive. What Sean points out in his report, as I mentioned just a moment ago, there's so many items that are happening, and we see it all over. The administration is doing so many things to stop these foreclosures from happening. Even on the latest, it's kind of bothered me, even on the latest Board of Realtors magazine, on the title it was Foreclosure Busters. Foreclosures are out there for a reason. That's why we have the system, to get these properties away from the buyers and the homeowners, who can no longer afford them. You know, we've got buyers. We've got buyers who need properties, who can afford to buy properties, and we need to move these properties off the market. If it brings the market down a little further, that's where the market needs to be. We've got a lot of delinquencies. This is not addressing the massive amount of delinquencies that are still coming up in the pipe. We've got record numbers of 30-day lates. We have record numbers of 60-day lates. So we do have more coming, and we need to let these things move forward. Okay, now I'm going to jump into something a little more fun. I know I keep letting you know, and I'm going to, that I am running for office down here in South Orange County. I'm running for the Central Committee for the 73rd District, and that is basically from Aliso Viejo across the Laguna Hills and then down to San Clemente. This week, you guys have been putting up with my marketing for a lot of years. Kind of do some of that for politics as well. Once again, this isn't a big paying position. I'm still here for you. I'm not going anywhere in the lending world, but kind of came up with this idea. I was at a Starbucks, saw one of those house cleaning signs, and came up with kind of a neat piece. You'll be seeing this around the South County area at your Starbucks, coffee shops, donut shops, wherever they've got those little bulletin boards. I put a little piece together. I have put this on my website as well. So if you have time, if you could help me, I need to get name recognition out there. I've known you guys for years, but you know, if only realtors were voting, that would be wonderful. But everybody's going to be voting. Just trying to get my name out there. I like to do a good job, represent the community, represent the 73rd District, and try to make some positive changes. There's been a lot of, I've heard corruption, I've heard underhanded dealings, a lot of power stuff going on, and I'd like to get in there and help clean some of that up. So if you could print this, that would be great. And if you're going to the donut shop, going to the coffee shop, take one, put it up on the board for me. That'd be great. Color, black and white, doesn't matter. Also, I got my bumper stickers. So you'll be seeing some of these around. I'll have them at the meetings. If you have a little corner of a window on your car and you know, you'd be willing to back me, that'd be fantastic. So we got those out there as well. Hey, say, okay, I'll say it. Say a prayer this weekend for our country. We've got a lot going on. I think a lot of you know there's a massive, massive vote going on. There's a website out there. Whether you like this healthcare bill or not, it will, if it passes, it will drastically change the way we live down the road and the way our country runs. So, as you can see on this Code Red website, the votes are about identical right now. We don't know which way this is going to go if they vote on it over the weekend, which they're pressing to. And then we'll have this to deal with. This is a little spoof, but it's an image of the healthcare plan and what we have to deal with. Personally, I like to, you know, break out that gun and That's right. Shoot it and start from scratch. Well, hey, once again, my name is Mike Munzing. I've been out here 20 years, and I look forward to working with you. I look forward to working with your buyers, helping them get qualified to the loan that is best for them, that they can keep, ideally 30-year fixed, and let's get them a great rate, a great loan, get you qualified, get those escrows closed, and let's work together. All right, God bless you, God bless your family, God bless America, and we'll talk soon. Call me anytime. Bye-bye.
This is the house we used to live in. This is a place I used to know. This is the house we